going to do my first rant. I wonder if my voice is clear. I need to rest a little bit. I haven't streamed for a while. And today I was playing around and found out this is decreasing the sounds that comes from the computer. And this switched the stream. And let me see if the live is on. If the live is on, alright. And I learned a trick. I was fooling around. Now I can do this to switch between the cameras in the stream. Hopefully. Did it work? I guess it worked. Oh well, so what's going on? Today I would like to talk about why did I start this channel. And actually I wasn't planning to play a game. I was planning to... No, actually, sorry, I take that back. I was planning to play a game, but one of my first few games that I ever made. And 1423 in Arabic calendar. I don't know what's the corresponding one in AD. And it's called War. Unfortunately, it didn't work. It didn't work at all. This one. The problem is every time I run it, first of all, the Arabic font doesn't appear, it's not readable. Give me a second. And second of all, if every time I do something silly, it crashes. I remember that you can see the characters in here, and there are different images, like the first player, the second player, and the third player, and in the map. How these look like in the map. The problem is I get memory error out of memory, and I believe because I made tons and tons and tons of functions and variables, and it was my first game after all, and I made it in Visual Basic 6, and I was in high school, and they didn't teach us how to do anything, and I didn't even have a book actually. A friend of mine told me he was selling some pirated CDs, yes, and programs like Windows Office and stuff, and it's kind of common in Saudi Arabia. And they usually give out or have a list and show it to you if you are interested in anything. And I was interested in programming, but my family never allowed that because they thought I was not good in school and I should focus on school and not make excuses. And I was in high school, first year at that time. And I noticed that, yeah, Visual Basic 6. I was so amazed, so like there was fireworks in on the background or something, on the back of the scene. And I was like, do you have this? Do you really have this? Do you really have this? I was so excited. And he said, yeah, it's for that much. I was like, I need a copy of it. And the next day I bought the money and he bought the CD in the school and we made the exchange. It's the CD writers era. An era that people will miss it, I guess. So I tried to play this game because it was my first big achievement at that time. For this video. But unfortunately it kept crashing. Too bad. So I'm going to play another game and keep talking whilst on the background, on the back scene. So let me oh, wait a minute. Did this stream work at all? Oh my god, I need to check something. If I didn't show any of the game that I was... Oh my god. So why did I start this channel? First of all, I started working on this project around a year ago, more than a year, but it's around a year. I believe it's around a year. And at first, I was working a lot, and I was happy, and I was doing my best. But after a month and a half or 2 months, my workload started to decrease dramatically, and I tried to find ways to increase my work hours per day. And I started reading about programmers like me, and most of them says we work 10 hours a day, or we work 60 hours a day, and only one of them says at least you need to work. Like he didn't say at least you need to work. He says actually says the only reason that a lot of people like me, when they started their own company, failed in coding is because they have a sand hour or sand clock, and every time he programmed, he flipped the clock or the hourglass, and he never leave his seats, even to the bathroom. He take 1 complete hour just coding, and that's why he succeed while the other people failed, and that was his reason. So there is an extreme between the two. 6 hours or 10 hours a day or an hour a day. I don't know what's going on. But maybe he meant every time you want to work. So he might definitely work more than 1 hour per day, though. I mean, coding itself, it takes a lot of time. That's granted. But to be honest, whenever you work in your real life, not all the work is, I mean, just work, just the code. Sometimes you think about the design, sometimes you redo the stuff, sometimes you just wander around, sometimes you're taking a break and go to the bathroom, sometimes you make some coffee. But all the time that you are doing these tasks, in your mind you think, hey, I'm doing the work. Not tricking yourself, but no, you are getting yourself mentally ready for the work. And you're not just fooling around or just going to make some coffee and then watch a TV. And I believe that's count. I mean, but unfortunately, and people, when they go to the work in companies and they work 9 to 5, they don't work all the time from the second they get in the building in the office. I mean, do they? Do they? Unfortunately, I never been in there except once, and it was a horrible experience. But anyway, so I don't count it even as an experience. So I tried to do several things. I tried to code while listening to music, and that helped a little bit, to be honest. But wasn't that much. I mean, after you hear the music once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, you get sick of it. I wonder if I can do autopilot in here, so I can completely focus on. Yep. Oh, it will make these stupid things on the screen. Oh well. So around 6 months ago or something, I don't know. I made some progress notes. When was that? But I need to leave the screen to see the data, so it doesn't matter. I tried to find sources to encourage myself in work, and on my random research, I found a website that people can stream their work on Live Code TV. And I got interested in the concept. I mean, wow, people really stream their work online? Is there anyone want to watch? I mean, don't get me wrong. I love programming and I really love to code, but I don't think I will watch someone to code. Um, Maybe when before I have the basics of coding, before I could code in the first place. Maybe in that time I will be more interested in watching people to code to learn from them. So I spent 2 days watching a few people um, streaming, and actually I like it. I get actually some of them I got interested in their work. I mean, in their frustrations moments, and their go lucky moments, and when they work 3 hours on a problem and finally it worked moments. It was interesting to see that, but it was kind of boring. A lot of people were streaming their work with loud music and metal and everything, and they never talk and they never communicate. And some of them spend half of the time communicate with chat instead of working with the music. And I never like those, to be honest. When I work, I want people hear what I'm saying, and what I'm saying is what am I doing on? What am I working on? I don't like to keep my audience on the blind spot. It's just they don't know what the heck I'm doing, and they don't know what the heck I'm working on, and I don't think this is healthy or they can learn anything from it. I mean, they came here to learn, to see some work, right? They didn't came here to enjoy. If they came here to enjoy, they should go to Twitch and watch some people playing video games instead, or watching movies is even better. So at first, I didn't care if my videos would be stored on the server, on the live code server, and if I can show them. But then they implemented a new system for playlist. You can create playlists and put your videos on, and I was, wow, that's even better. Let's try to use it. But after a few weeks, it screwed up. Then they fixed it. Then it screwed up. Then they fixed it. Then I tried to show some of my friends some of my work, and I couldn't even access my own videos. And I was like, you know what? That's it. And I just stopped using it. And I start working alone, without streaming, without music, for a while. But my hours, my working hours, start decreasing again because nothing to stress on me, nothing to encourage me to work. So I start streaming again on YouTube. I was planning to start streaming on YouTube after I start doing the engine work, because I'm sure that if I say game lover or game engine or anything, it will be 1 billion times, infinite number of times more interesting than saying working on integrity system on my map simulator 2. That doesn't make any sense. So, but I found myself taking way too much time doing the action condition system, so I started streaming on that, and I was like, screw it. A lot of people watch people on YouTube, but they don't watch their first videos 4 and 3 and 5 years ago. And that's what will happen in my channel if I keep streaming and keep putting videos, I believe. No one will watch me now, and actually I'm interested because 5 people watched or viewed my Game Lover Bar 6 video. And I don't know why. I mean, I'm sure they didn't get interested in the work because they didn't watch the first few parts. They just watched the last part. And my work on these parts weren't that good, to be honest. So this is the first goal to my why did I start this channel. So it encouraged me to work, but recently I stopped blaming myself why I don't update videos. For now, for example, it has been around 7 days, and I didn't start a new video because I need to deal with the save files again, and this is some some part of the code that I don't want to show. I don't show all my work. Some of my sensitive areas, I hide them from the stream. And whenever I deal with those, or I know I will deal with them sooner or later, I don't stream because I want to stream 1 hour. I don't want to stream 5 minutes and then I'll stream next time, and then deal with the file, then return back and stream 5 minutes and then stop. And no, I don't want to do that. And I don't want to deal with video editing because I'm not here to become a YouTube star. I'm here just to encourage myself to work, and that's why I'm doing this video actually, because I'm kind of frustrated. It's Ramadan and there are some family issues, and it's kind of hard to work while you need to pray to God more than to work too. But at the same times, I'm gonna work. It's just confusing. It's just a little bit confusing. So I start this rant, and because I have nothing to show, I showed this game because I consider this is the ultimate form of beautiful graphics from 6 years old game or something. I don't play new games. I actually don't know any game name on Xbox 360 or PlayStation 3. Save it from PlayStation 4 or Xbox One. I have no clue what's going on these years. I mean, I considered Quake 4 and Half-Life 2 new games, but oh well. This one is kind of one of the newest game I ever played, actually. If not, actually Skyrim. Skyrim is newer. Anyway, and I no, I play Skyrim vanilla. I never played the added-on things. Well, I didn't do anything. What is he doing? He's automated everything, eh? So this is the first reason. The second reason is give me a second. Let me autopilot some stuff. Oh, this is the north. Oops. Sorry. Let's go to here. And yes, I'm learning how to do stuff and I'm really bad at it. So excuse me. I will just keep it without autopilot stuff. And hopefully no one will knock me down. I cannot click on it or activate it or work or do anything with it because it's not in the radar yet. And thanks God the sky is clear. I can see it with vision, but the radar cannot detect the gate. But anyway. The second reason why I start my channel is maybe someone will learn something. Once again, I try to make a website on Google site to educate programming and beginnings and concepts and even few lessons on C# and Java. But I was doing that while I was in college, my second, third college, and I was super busy and didn't do much in it. And I'm thinking again to complete that thing, but I started this project, and this project will be my source of my income, my first source of income, hopefully. And better to focus on that. So once again, when I start programming, it was really hard. It was a really hard experience, but I learned a lot from it. There's no guidance, no teachers, no books, just me and the IDE. It took me around 3 days to discover how to do my first code, which is escape, exit. When you write exit, the 4 letters on Visual Basic, you end the program. And that was the first line I learned ever. Then I learned how to do, to change the name, the caption of the tools and stuff like that. Very, very simple stuff. It took me weeks to learn. I mean, it took me around a month to learn, and even more than a month, to learn how to open a file, like a text file. Took me a lot of time. Took me a lot of time because there's no book. I didn't learn anything from, and I really wish to have sources. Um, Nowadays, the internet is open and you can see almost a lot of things. You can learn the whole language and its secrets and even to program compilers and everything for free. You just need to search for a good source and learn. So I thought maybe it was a good idea to show some of my work. Maybe someone will learn a trick or something. Maybe they will learn what does the dictionary mean? Why do we not delete or add new elements when we do for each and stuff like that. And to be honest, I really didn't want to put all my code in there, or I mean even the code that I showed in my episodes in Live Code TV and on the YouTube. Some of the codes I considered really good and I didn't want to share them, but to be honest, Uh, Most people who copy the codes without knowing, they're usually beginners and they cannot use it, so I'm not worried about them. And people who can use it won't bother themselves to copy another guy work or even look for it. If they are good as me, or a little bit, their skills less than my skills, or way much better than me, why will they bother? They want their own unique code, so I'm not worried about that. So I just like, you know what, let's put it. But whenever I deal with security, like for saving and loading and stuff, and maybe they can crash the code, somehow I don't show that part. I thought about that. I add my channel as come learn the new ways or the real way. How do you do work or how does programmers do work? So I was thinking about that, but to be honest, that's not true because every programmer have his own way to program, have his own way on spacing and using encapsulation, and there is no right way to do that. I mean, when you go to IT, there's no real way to do that too. When you deal with chips and circuits, there is a physical broken circuit and not broken circuit. But when you come to programming, programming is way much broader than IT, I believe. I mean, yes, IT you can have several solutions. You can use this device and make it as a router or as virtual server or as a physical server or dedicated server. But in programming, oh my god, the number of options. I mean, even if you have only one language, the number of options that you can do to solve the same problem is super out, it's so big, it just and you can it's kind of hard to say this code is better than that code because the trade-offs um, ranges are so huge. It's not little. So you cannot say, oh, this code is definitely better than that code. Then why that code still exists? I mean, if it's the quick sort, for example, that you learn from college, is way much better than the bubble sort, then why the bubble sort exists? So there are some meters in the trade-off that we don't deal with. We don't talk about. We talk about this is take less space, this is take less time, this is take less code of lines. But we never measure that. Well, I'm familiar with this code, so it's less risky. And it will take much less time to deal with this than with dealing with new stuff. We never measured that, and this is the difference. Just sometimes we like to take it riskless or risk free. We don't want to do stuff that we are not sure it will work or not because that might waste a lot of time. But it's really good to try new stuff as a programmer, and I always advise for that. Whenever you program and you find a way that you never understand, or you never try database and you are worried that you will never understand it, no, be brave. Try new stuff, try new code, try new languages. Try to do things that you're not familiar with because someday you might find it really useful to use that method. And if you didn't learn on it, you will never use it in the first place. So I really advise to try new stuff. And please don't be arrogant. Please don't be arrogant. I really hate arrogant people in my field in programming. And it's one of the main reasons why I didn't go. One of the main reasons. To be honest, it's even more valid reason than why I left America. I have several reasons that I left America. I was going to work in there, but it's God fate. I believe it's a God fate that, well, you didn't have the chance. I have the chance now to go back and work, but one of the main reasons just, oh my God, some people, oh my God, how they look down on others and on others' works just because they can do some code works. I mean, sometimes they will immediately look down on you and your bloodline and the school you came from because you don't write the variable format or the way how do you write variables in the same way he do. Or the indentation. You don't do the indentation and putting the parentheses in the same way he do. These little things. Every programmer have a style. It doesn't mean if he doesn't follow your style, he's doing it wrong. I mean, for the God's sake, be humble a little bit. I mean, even as a low-level programmer, not a high-level programmer. I mean, even if you program low-level programming language, don't behave like you own the world because you're doing something difficult. Because someone done that compiler for you. Someone made that compiler and you're using it. Even if you program a compiler, and I don't believe anyone who's capable of programming compiles is that arrogant as these bastards. You don't have any right to like to act like if you own the world. I mean, for the God's sake, these guys are just make me lose my mind sometimes. I dealt a lot with them in three different colleges, and it's just unbelievable. And usually, these people are the ones who take the minimum grades in a class, or even never pass a class. Some of them failed the class 3 times, and they believe they own the world. It's just wow. Because they can program, or they believe they can program, or something. So, why didn't I start philosophy and rant list already? Because I have nothing to show. But today I'm kind of a little bit angry, or because as you see, I really don't want to work, but most of my work, actually I done some work, around 11 or 12 hours of work, actually more, behind the cameras. Well, because I'm not in the mood to work online. I made 7 videos on the game engine bot, and all of them sucks. All of them I was confused, not sure what to do. I'm starting a new system, and that shows some weakness. I mean, yes, I shouldn't aware of showing some weakness to my programmers followers who's following me. No, wait, nobody following me. Or the future guys who's going to view my content. I shouldn't worry about, he shows some signs of weakness. He's not good. He's not a good programmer. Well, think whatever you think. I'm not worried about that part. I'm worried that, and I'm not even worried about this problem because this is normal. Whenever you deal with a huge project and it has a lot of code and you're concerned with all the systems, you always think about maybe I need to change that system, maybe I should change that system, maybe I shouldn't add that thing so it doesn't conflict with the system. People who comes and watch, they only see what they watch, so they are not that worried. So it might be easier for them to solve it, and that make me feel damn and good. And actually, one of the guys in Live Code TV showed me the answer while I was concerned if I was doing the whole thing was correct. And he was focused on that answer, and he was so happy. Good for him. Good for him. And then this is really good. It's really good to see people feel really good because they solve a problem. I'm not worried about that. The thing is, why am I streaming in the first place? To aid my work, not to worry myself. So, because it's my first goal to do some progress, I believe it's better to work behind the camera if I don't have anything to show. So don't get me wrong when you see like, oh, he stopped showing that he sucks. Well, alright. Then, I'm not here to be a star or to show you, 5 minutes of coding speed up by 20% with heavy metal and loud music, and the whole project is done in 20 minutes. Fast coding or whatever, or speed run coding to program a fully fledged 2D game engine with the map editor in 20 minutes. No, I'm not doing that. I'm sorry. What I'm doing is I'm trying to help myself to work, and that's why I didn't stream. And why didn't I start the philosophy or the rant channel earlier like all the others? Because once again, I have nothing to show. I don't have any successful job. I don't have any successful career. All what I have are failure stories, unfortunately. And I want to make some successful projects first and make some figures of the sale. Then people will come and listen to my advice. That's why I didn't start making these videos. But as I just said, today out of the mood and trying something new. And today, hopefully, I will work again after reading the Quran. It's Ramadan. It's really useful, or really, really, really the time to get closer to God. It's more important than work. And maybe I will learn something new from the Quran. Well, what other news do I have? A new mic is coming, and I ordered it from Amazon. Actually, my brother ordered it for me, and it will arrive soon, hopefully, in 2 weeks. I might open in a class and teach programming next year. Um, I'm just thinking about it seriously about it now, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do that or not. I'm preparing the place. I'm thinking about the material. I'm going to contact one of my cousins because he worked as a teacher for a while, and I recorded some videos, but I might delete them and start over while I'm playing. So maybe whenever I do a rant series after a year or something, I will have a lot of content to put my rant on them instead of doing this. So I show the gameplay and rant at the same time. And that's it. I believe 30, 31, 32 minutes is enough. Thank you for listening, and Ramadan Kareem if you are Muslim or Arabic or even not a Muslim and know about Ramadan. And see you next time.